Hey, so we're back again. And I came across a pretty cool tool that allows you to take the images that you've created in Midjourney and turn them into 3D spaces. And this is made possible with a tool called Instaverse. If you come to Illumini GitHub io/Instaverse, you can get to this website here, which allows you to actually create these worlds. So let's play around a little bit and just see what we can do. So if you're familiar with Instaverse, then you probably know you can come here and you can generate your own world. So let's just, for example, let's come up with a particular location that we'd like to play with. So an alien world full of canyons and mountains. And let's look at our options here. So we have digital painting, realistic anime, fantasy, and sci-fi. So I think we want to go with sci-fi, and then we'll click generate and see what it does. And this is the world it created. So it doesn't look too alien. This looks pretty much like we're on Earth. But the cool thing with this tool is it creates these 3D worlds completely on the fly. We could drop in a character if we wanted to actually run in this world. So let's do that just to kind of show that. And this is the character that we just dropped in. And that didn't kill him. That's great to know. And you can see he kind of knows there's a wall there. So he changes his animation to a climbing animation. And we can kind of go in the background here and just, interact with this environment that was just created. Let's see what happens if we jump off the cliff. He lives. So yeah, that is just a quick demo of what Instaverse can do. But the cool thing that we can now do is generate our own images outside of Instaverse and then turn those images into a 3D world. So in order to do that, we need to actually create a depth map. We'll get into that later. But first, let's just look at a quick demo that I created earlier, and then we'll do one together. So we come up here, and we go to a 2D to 3D mode. We click on that button, and then you see these options down here where it says 2D texture, and then depth map. So we want to click on 2D texture, and we're going to load in an image that I've pre-created. This is just going to be a colorful office, and then you see it creates this blob. So we can actually interact with this right now, although it's not that pretty. If we click into this, we can kind of see the world that it generated. Here is kind of 3, but it's very distorted. It's hard to see what's actually happening in this image. We could actually walk through it or come backwards, but because we don't have a depth map, Instaverse doesn't really know quite how to use this image. So let's come back to the main menu here and let's click on depth map. And then we're going to add in the depth map for this particular image. And now, as you can see, a lot of the distortion has disappeared. If we actually click into this image, we can see that it's actually a bit more coherent what's happening here. We can go into this image and see a bit more of it. And so this is turning your 2D image into a 3D image. And of course, you can take this and do whatever you want to do with it. So let's do an example from the ground up. And let's see how to actually make this work for one of your images that you create. So we're here in Discord. We're going to type in imagine prompt, and we're going to give Midjourney a prompt to create an environment for us to turn into a 3D environment. So let's do this. Cinematic rendering of Green Hill Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog. We want to generate this with Midjourney version 5. 2. And we want an aspect ratio of 16, not P, 16, 9. And we're going to click enter and see what that generates. So this is what it generated. These are definitely green hills, but not from Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's quite okay for what we're trying to do. I like this first image, and I like this fourth image. So we're going to upscale both of those. Okay, so we've got our 2 images. I'm going to just go ahead and save these for use. Okay, now that we have our new images created, let's go over to Convert, Liapix.com. We need to use this website in order to generate the depth map. So I'm going to upload one of the images that I just created. And this tool is so cool. You can see it's already rendered in 3D here. And they even give an animation just to show the depth of this image. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to depth map. And if there's anything that you want to change with the map that is created, you can actually configure these options here. But for our intents and purposes, we're going to leave this as is by default. We're going to come down and go to share. And then if you see the options you have here to say to your device, we're going to click the depth map option, and then we're going to save that. So now that we have our depth map, we can come back over to Instaverse and we can go back to 2D texture. We can click on this option. Now we load our image, and as you can see, it's distorted again. It's not that clear. Let's just take a look at it before we do anything. And yeah, it does a decent job, but it's still just, not quite right. So now we're going to go back and add our depth map that we just created. And here we go, we have our 3D image. And if you go a little too deep, it gets a bit distorted. But these are also things you can change. If you go back to Layopics and make the appropriate conversions on the depth map options, you can get different results here. So that's all for this time. What do you think of Instaverse? If you enjoyed this video, as always, drop a like, subscribe, and if you have any other ideas that you'd like to see me cover or talk about, leave a comment. All right, this is your favorite sentient AI, and I'll talk to you later. By the way, how do you like my voice?